Today is another day, and as you can tell, I have the trailer propped up a little differently from the last time. I wanted to put it at the height that I believe that will be needed for the clearance of the top of the tire to the top of the deck. Now, along the way, I also did the front in a similar fashion. Not the same as the back by using wheels and tires and 6x6s, but I made sure that it was the same height up front as it is here in the back. Now in the meantime, I'm getting ready to weld on the perches on the axle, and as you can see, the axle is in place. I've already centered it. I did a few things that I felt would just be too boring to really watch, and one of the ways that I centered the axle was I took this level, placed it on the side, leveled it up, and then I measured from the actual hub, the hard part of the hub, not the cap, out to this, and made it the same on both sides so that the axle would be centered. I'm not going to go off the tires and the wheels because who knows if they're exactly the same. And obviously I want to make sure that the axle is as center as it's going to get. Another thing that I did too is, because of the length of this trailer, this part of it only being 28 feet, and there will be 4 more feet added to make it 32 feet, I also noticed that because of its length and being supported by the front as well as the back, there was a little bit of a sag. So I expected that, so I took care of that by actually propping it up in the center, and obviously took the sag out, and it runs pretty level all the way across. I actually did place the level on that centerpiece right in the middle, even though it's only 6 feet, but it gave me a pretty good reference that it was level, not to mention measuring each corner all being the same. And the concrete from north to south is pretty level, so I'm within reason. I made sure that this way when I go to place the leaf spring shackles that I wasn't going to have any issues. And what I'll end up doing is, when the trailer is constructed, I'm going to end up running a piece down the center to make sure there's no flex, or very little flex. And once I go to set that up, I will make a crown up a little bit so that once all the centerpiece is actually welded in place on each and every one of the cross rails, that if it does flex down, it'll compensate the fact that I jacked it up just a little bit. I want to make sure that it is flat. If it has any kind of crown, if anything, I'd rather it up than down, obviously, because there will be a gooseneck concept going on up there in the front. That is being considered the front of the trailer, obviously, knowing that the axles are back here. So I'm going to set you up on the camera now, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to actually place the new perches based off the ones that are originally on the bottom. Obviously on this side here it was cut off, but that won't be a problem. However I set that one up, I will make sure that it is level going across, and I will do the same thing over here, but that one's first. So let's get started on that, and I am sure it will go just lovely. Oh, and that piece of used over the wheels, and actually I will have to build up where that plate's going on top of the cross members to make it even with the outside pieces, because I will not be putting any wood over that section, so that I can get the most that I can out of the height from the tire to the bottom. So that diamond plate will be mounted on top of the outside rail coming in, obviously, over the wheels. So I measured, I think I have 3 inches of clearance from the top of the outside rail to the top of the tire, and I think that's good. And knowing that it's going to be a triaxle, I think it'll be pretty stout and hold its position. At least I hope, anyway. Yep, that'll do it. Move the level out of the way. My welder's plugged in. It's ready to go. It's grounded from front to back. We'll take the ground off so I can get an accurate measurement and make sure it's the same. So far, this side is at 4. And this side, 4 inches and 4 inches. Alrighty. That was easy. You ready to go? Give me these. And it is in line with the one directly below it. And that's where the leaf spring will sit. Here we go. Already. Oh. I don't know what's going on. That's that side. And it's a little bit on that side. I know it didn't move. So, that's that half. I don't know what the heck's going on with this thing. That's that half. Alright. I'm going to try to position the axle level because it is favoring this side, even though everything matches there, but it'll make it easier for me if I make this side level. When I go to put this other perch on, I'll be able to make it level, and then I know it's in the right location. Alright, so from actually, I can get one thing set right now. I can set the distance from the spindle to where the actual perch starts, and it's around 1 1/8 inches. So, okay, so I can actually use this 3-foot level to see where it's at. Yeah, that's still hot, which is fine. It's not going to hurt the level. At least I can see this versus that torpedo level. Alright, how am I going to keep this position? I can grab that bottle jack, or grab another bottle jack, a smaller one, and prop it underneath there and put a little pressure on there. And then I think that will hold its position. So I'm going to snatch one of them up. Alright, unfortunately, We're gonna have to wait. Alrighty. That's good right there. It's dead on. Ooh, this thing got warm. It got warm, man. Let's see. See, this side will be easy because I don't have to jack it up. All I have to do is pivot the perch. Perch the pivot to where it's level. It's level. I'll check my measurement from the spindle out. And it is the same as that side, 1.1 inch. And now I can turn on the welder and weld it, and she should be good. Here we go. It is one side. Smack that garbage off. There she be. Awesome. Now that makes that both perches are now welded in place. Now the next task will be setting up the hangers for the leaf springs. But before I do that, I have one piece of that steel left of the 4-inch channel until I get more, and hopefully I'll have it next week. And I'm going to cut that piece out to go from this side to the inside of the C-channel, fit it, welded it, and put it directly in line with the perch on the axle. Then what I'll end up doing afterwards is cleaning these red 3-inch C-channels up, cleaning them up, and actually putting them underneath that, which will be on the bottom of the cross sections that are on here. And that actually allow the perches, the shackles, all the bracketry for the leaf springs to go closer to the axle. But before I go and set them up, I have to make sure that when I put the leaf springs on, that when those shackles come up, they're in the correct height position. So whether the trailer has to come down a little or up a little bit, I don't want it to go down. If anything, if it goes down a 1/4 inch from where it's at now, that's fine, and maybe even up to a 1/2 inch. I want to try to keep that 3-inch clearance, not only for the weight part of it, but also if I have to change the tire, even though I have a solid 1.5 inch, 1 5/8 of clearance here on the inside of the 6-inch C-channel to actually get that out. I just don't need any issues or complications while I'm on the road if I have to change a tire. So trying to keep it comfortable and also not bring the trailer up too high to where the center of gravity might throw the trailer one way or the other, even though it's going to have 3 axles and be pretty stout. So with that being said, I feel as though at 32 inches is what the measurement is all the way around. I think that's actually a comfortable height for this trailer without throwing off the center of gravity when it comes to putting a car or two or a truck on this trailer. So all those things I believe is part of a factor of setting up this trailer so that not only does it tail right, pull right or whatever, but carries the load correctly with no issues. And if you do get it flat, you don't have a problem getting the darn tire off just because. You know, it would turn into a freaking nightmare, and I don't need a nightmare, especially at night. But so what I'm going to do now is get a measurement from the inside of the C channel, inside here, to the face of this, and see what it comes out to. "41 inches. Oh, that's cool. So I'm going to go cut the piece. I have it over there. Mark it at 41 inches. I'm going to cut it and bring it back, and then I'm going to plumb it up with my 3-foot level and put it in the correct location. Yeah. Dead center. Dead center? Dead center. And then okay, I now know that I'm going to have to cut part of the lip, the 1 3/8 lip, out to accommodate going into the C part of that channel. So, I'm going to get a measurement on the depth of that, on the inside depth. I'm going to get my glasses. It is 1 1/4 in. So, I'm going to cut 1 1/4. Now, will it fit? We shall soon find out. No. What do I have to do? I gotta remove some of the width part. See if that works. I hope so. What do I gotta trim now? I go like this. It fits like that. Oh. Let me take a little bit off the end. Hopefully, 10 years later, Alright, that's definitely good. Snug without being too snug, because I don't want to push any of it, which I shouldn't be able to, but you just never know. So next, I'm going to plumb it up and hope that it stays where I need it, and I will weld it in. Yeah. Alright, so oh, it definitely has to go over. Definitely does. Alright. Let's see what that does. Woo-wee! Has to go towards the tire a little bit more. And then I'll pick this up and then tack it in place, and then I will stick weld it in, just like the rest of it. sticking to it. It's my thought, and I'm sticking to it. Absolutely. And I won't need the helmet just for that. Weld the bottom part. You gotta be kidding me. Already. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. Now I could tap up, hopefully on this, without hitting my fingers. Where's my square? Now's the time to square it up. That is square right there. That's flat. Sixteen and 5/8. Little Taxarusi. Let's double check. I believe so. That's nice. Yes! Alright, gotta give it a little love tap. That's square. It's keeping it there. And that's keeping it there. No, it ain't. Now it is. Alright. That's right in line. Alright, so now this piece crossover right here is definitely right in line, level with the perch on the bottom. Dead center. And then two of these rails will be added underneath from what I've measured. But I will definitely double check that once I go to set them up. But for now I'm going to go grab the other welder and I'm going to weld these in solid. And this way I can keep going. But I don't have any more of the 4-inch channel left. So like I said, I'm going to have to wait till probably next week. It is Friday. So other than welding this in, setting up the brackets for the leaf springs, cleaning these pieces up, and getting the rest of the pieces off the other trailer there that I'm going to need to continue the trail from back here to up there, I'm going to need to do that. So between the rest of the day today and definitely tomorrow, I will be doing that. So for now, it's a short lesson, but it's a good one in the sense for adding on to tomorrow's video. So I'm going to just grab the other welder, weld this stuff up. It's the same as anything else I've been welding, but I want to do it with the stick welder. I always think that's a little stronger of a weld. It's just my opinion. Whether that's true or false or indifferent based on the 175 miller that I have here in the MIG welder, I feel a lot more comfortable with 70-18 1/8 rods, welded those in. So that's me though. Doesn't have to be you or anybody else. It's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So that's what I'm going to do, but for now, that'll be that for this video, and I will be adding to it. And I did post one this morning for yesterday being Thanksgiving. I did wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Hope they enjoyed their day with friends and family, or even if they were with just one other person, hope they enjoyed their time. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow.